Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Tuesday, November the 5th of 2024, and I am Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Iowa. And how are you doing? How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. We have had some rain the last few days, although I know we do need the rain. We probably needed it sooner than now, but it's definitely fall is in the air. Today I have a fun fold for you. It might look a little bit complicated at first, but it's very easy. It may be a fun fold that you're familiar with. And I'm going to be using autumn leaves. This will be my last fall card that I'm going to make this year, but I wanted to do one more fall card because it is definitely fall weather here in Iowa. When I turn the camera down, we will start stamping, but before we do that, I just wanted to let all of you know, if you haven't heard, that today, November 5th, we have new online exclusive products in our online store. So these are products that you will not find in the mini or the annual catalog. So these are not in a catalog, but they are in our online store. And one of the things that I know some of my customers have been waiting for is the color wheel. So you can now order the color wheel along with a lot of other things. Now we do have, I'm going to show you this beautiful paper marbled elegance, and it is in a suite collection. Although you can pick and choose, you don't have to order the entire suite. I don't know why you wouldn't, though. And this marbled paper is beautiful. So I don't have it yet to show you. So I'm sharing this with you. And you can use it for Valentine's Day or lots of other projects too. Okay, well, I think we will turn the camera down and we will start stamping. All right, I'm going to show you the card that we're going to make. We are going to make this fun fold. I'm thankful, and it opens up like this. So you have a scene, and then it also opens for all you do. So I'm thankful for all you do. And what I like about this is that you can set it up like, so the person who receives this can set it up on their shelf, and you can see this beautiful scene. So what I'm going to be using for this card is that I'm going to be using the Autumn Leaves stamp set, and I'm going to be using I'm Thankful. On the sample card, I used I'm thankful for all you do. For the card we're going to make today, I'm going to put I'm thankful to have you as a friend. So today and every day, so with a grateful heart, Autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. And then you have these three sentiments you can add with the other ones. And you have leaves, and it is a two-step. So you stamp your leaf, and then you stamp the inside part. We're also going to be using the dies, and I love these dies. We have this label right here. We have the stamps that cut out the images, another label, and right here. And then we have all of these dies, which I had over there on my table because I'm going to be die cutting. But so these are extra leaves dies that come with this set. And what I love about this is that you have two of the same leaf. So you can cut double. So you can cut a lot of leaves out, and you can do it really, really quick. Okay, so I'm going to keep those out. so we can use those later. The paper I'm going to use is our 6x6 Splendid Autumn 6x6. But if you stay with me to the end, I have another card I'm going to share with you that I used different designer series paper. This Splendid Autumn, it has a lot of, autumn scenes. So these are just a few of the papers that are in this set. We are going to use this designer series paper here, but actually for this card that we're going to make, it does take three. It takes 3 6x6 sheets of the Splendid Autumn paper to make this card. And you will have some left over that you can use on another card, but it does take 3 sheets. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I have Cajun Craze cardstock, and I have 2 card bases that are cut 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. I am going to set one aside. I'm going to score one of these one more time. I'm going to score at 2 1/8. So I'm putting it in on the long side, and I'm just going to go ahead and get my cutting blade out of the way. And then I'm going to score this 2 1/8. And that is because it is 2 1/8 is from this score line to this is 5.5. So I want to put the score line in the middle. So that would be not 4 1/8, 2 1/8, excuse me, 2 1/8. All right, let's go ahead and fold this card base. And then I can go ahead and I'm going to fold this back. Bring in the other card base, and I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half. And we're not scoring anymore on this second card base. So I have a regular card base here, and I have a regular card base, only I scored the front of it and folded it back. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to adhere the back of the card base that I folded to the front of this card base. So I am going to adhere these together. So I'm going to turn this over, but I find it's easier. So this is the front. This is the front of the second card. I find it easier to add my adhesive to the front of this second card base. And then pick up this. So we have this opens it like this. And so then we're going to just put this, we're going to go ahead and add that right on there. Okay, now let's move this aside and let's bring in some of our designer series paper. So right now this card opens like this, and then it opens like this. So this is our card base. So it's 2 card bases together. And we're going to start with 2 pieces of designer series paper. And it is cut at 1 5/8 by 5. And then I'm going to bring in crushed curry. And I need 2 of these. And these are cut at 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And so then I am going to go ahead and adhere these together. Now, a little trick. So when I cut these, you know, I'm taking 1 6x6 to cut the 1 5/8. So on the back in pencil, I put a 1 because this is the first one that I cut off the 6x6 Designer Series paper. And then this was the second one. That way it kind of helps with the seam. It kind of goes, you know, kind of goes together. So, especially if you're making multiples, you can kind of get confused. So this is crushed curry cardstock that we are layering our Designer Series paper on. And again, the Designer Series paper is 1 5/8 by 5. And then the crushed curry cardstock is 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to bring this back in, and we're going to, this opens up like this, and we're going to place this right here on the front. Now you can add all your Designer Series paper to your cardstock and then add it on here all at once, but I think for demonstration purposes, to show you, I think it's easier if I do it this way. Now I'm going to open it up, and we're going to put the next one right here. So this is going to go right here. So one Designer Series paper will cut both of these, but then you'll need to use the second Designer Series paper for the next cut, and then the third Designer Series paper for your third cut. So I'm calling this the first cut. Okay, now we're going to lay that aside. And I am going to bring in two more pieces of Designer Series paper. These are both cut the same. They are cut at 3 3/4 by 5. So this is my second Designer Series paper that I cut the 3 3/4 by 5. And then this is the third 6x6 that I used. And once again, I did number on the back just so I would make sure that the seam was kept together. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in some crushed curry. And I need 2 of these at 4 and 5 1/4. And I'm just going to layer these together. So these layer right like this. And this card does fit in our envelopes. And I know I've already done the cutting just to save us some time, but I'm giving you the measurements and explaining to you. So I'll lay that right there. Then we'll go ahead . This might make a nice card to give if you're going somewhere for Thanksgiving, to give the host or hostess a card. Then I'm going to bring our card back, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere this right here. So our card base is Cajun Craze, and our layering is crushed curry. But I'm going to open it here. We're going to take this and we're going to put it here on the left-hand side, just like that. And then we're going to be doing some stamping. And get it as straight as we can. Isn't this beautiful paper? I just think it's so pretty. Okay, I am now going to lay this, so it opens up like this. I'm going to lay that aside. And I'm going to bring in some basic white. And this is 3 3/4 by 5. So 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to bring in our leaf. And I'm going to bring in Cajun Craze ink. Now we could do it full strength, but I think I'm going to stamp off. So I'm going to stamp off on my paper so I get a lighter image in the inside. And as I mentioned, Autumn Leaves is a 2-step. Now I could leave it like that, but I'm going to come back with basic gray. And I'm going to come back with our veins of the leaves, and I'm going to stamp that in basic gray, and I'm going to make that a little bit darker and do full strength on that. But you could stamp off on that also if you wanted to. And then we're going to stamp To Have You as a Friend, and I'm going to bring in, actually I'll just use the basic gray. I think on my sample card I use Memento Black, but we'll just go ahead and use the basic gray. To Have You as a Friend. And then I am going to, I already die cut our label as soon as I find what I did with it. So, and we're going to stamp I'm Thankful. And we're going to do that in Garden Green. So here's I'm Thankful, and here is our label. And so I'm Thankful is longer than the label, but I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to bring in the Garden Green. And I'm just going to ink up the I'm. And I'll stamp that right here. Then I need to clean that. Then I'm going to turn my stamp around so it's upside down to me. And I'm just going to ink up the Thankful. And then we will stamp that right underneath the I'm. There we go. So I believe that should be all the stamping that we're going to do. So let's go ahead and bring our card base back and our basic white. And I have another crushed curry layer. So the basic white is 3 3/4 by 5, and the crushed curry cardstock is 4 by 5 1/4, so just a fourth larger. And we're going to go ahead and layer these together. You could use any stamp set with this card. You can make this a Christmas card. It could be a birthday card. So depending on what stamp set that you use and what designer series paper that you use. But I wanted to make a fall card today. So now I'm going to add this right inside our card base. And get it lined up. I want to kind of make it even here. I need to bring that over and this up a little bit. Okay, now we're going to add the fun part. We're going to kind of decorate it with some leaves. And I'm going to show you how easy that is to do. So I brought in our cut and emboss machine, and I've added crushed curry, Cajun craze, pumpkin pie, and moody mauve. And then I am just going to place some of our leaves. Because we can make 2 of each. And I have some of these cut out, but we're going to go ahead and just run this through so you can get lots of leaves with one. Just with one, going through one time with the cut and emboss machine. Now, some of them will come out just like this, and then some you need to take something pokey, and I'm using my take your pick tool, and then it will come right out for you. Okay, let's go ahead. Let me move this, and we'll put our card together. All right, so I'm going to take I'm Thankful. I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. I also used the dies, Greetings of the Season dies, and that would also make a label you could put on here. But I decided not to use the Seasons of the Label dies because it was so large that it covered up so much of the pretty leaves. So I decided to go ahead and just use this label that was already in our Autumn Leaves dies. And I am going to kind of just turn this a little bit, just like that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put, we have a lot of leaves here. So I'm going to, I guess, pick this leaf here and place it here. I'm going to bring in our glue dots. And I am just going to bring the leaf to the glue dot. And I'll do it like this, like it's falling. And then let's go ahead and I think that would be pretty right there. So you can just have fun making several colors of leaves and adding them to your card. And then we'll grab a Cajun craze. I think I'll overlap that like that. Oh, let's do the yellow. I think just one glue dot on the yellow is fine. Okay, now let's turn the page. Turn our card, and then we will add Cajun Craze and our Moody Mauve. I think I'll put those right down here. out that just a little bit, just like that. All right, so let's go ahead and add our not dimensionals, but let's add some embellishments and a bow. So I am bringing in linen thread. This is natural tone linen thread. It's in the mini catalog, and I am going to use, I think I could use the green, the garden green, or, and I know this is Night of Navy, garden green. Maybe you can tell me what this is, the brown. Is it Cajun Craze? No, I don't remember, but we are going to use this. Whoop. All right, so we're going to go ahead and tie a bow. So let me know in the comments. I don't think it's pecan pie, but I'm... Looks like I got some green ink on my fingers. That's what happens when you stamp, right? Okay, let's bring in our snips. Move that aside. And then I'm going to bring our glue dots back. And I'm going to use the tip of my take your pick tool and kind of make that into a little ball. And I'm going to place it on my label. I just think that is easier. And then I will take my bow and I will place it on that glue dot. And if I need to make my bow a little bit smaller, maybe it's too late for that, which is fine. We will just snip these a little bit, the tails. And now we're going to add some embellishments. So I'm going to be bringing in these beautiful embellishments. And these are the fall glass dots. I may not be saying that right. And I use the darker, the Cajun Craze. I'm going to use the lighter up here. And I think I will use, or I could use the yellow or the green, but I'm going to go ahead and use the orange. And I think that'll be it. All right. So here is our card that we made. I'm thankful. And it opens up like this. It will sit like this. And then you can turn and you'll be able to write a message who it's from. So this is our card. I do have another one to show you. This is our sample, and notice that I did use different designer series paper in each of these cards. So in this card, I used one paper. I used 3 of the same papers, but in this card, I used different designer series paper, but they're both from the same pack of Splendid Autumn. So now my third card that I want to show you, I use a designer series paper from another 6x6 pack, and that is Meandering Meadows. And I don't have a lot of Meandering Meadows left, but this is not the paper that I use. I'll show you in a second. But again, you would need to use 3 sheets of 6x6 designer series paper to make this card. You use this for the 2 panels on the front, and then you use this. So this designer series paper you use to cut these 2, and then you'll have some left over. Then you use this designer series paper to cut this. You'll have some left over. And then when you turn it, you'll use this third sheet for here. So let me go ahead and show you the paper and the card from Meandering Meadows. I used Blueberry Bushel for my cardstock and Bubble Bath for the layers. And then I used the same linen thread, only I used the garden green instead of the brown that I can't remember the name of. So it could be copper clay. So maybe it's copper clay or Cajun Craze. I'm not sure, but someone that's watching this can tell me if this is Cajun Craze or copper clay. Or I can look that up too, I guess. Okay, so this is I'm Thankful. And so I used some Bubble Bath. I did use pecan pie because there's some pecan pie in the designer series paper. And I'm thankful to have you as a friend. Whereas my sample card, I'm thankful for all that you do. So again, this, sets up like this. So we have I'm Thankful using Meandering Meadows, and then our other two cards using the Splendid Autumn paper. So again, this card at first might look a little difficult, but you know that I'm all about quick and easy. So these cards are quick and easy. And I hope that you like the card today, the cards that we made today. And I know I will be sending these out in the mail. And because we definitely want to send our cards, our beautiful cards that we make, we definitely want to send them to someone so to make them have a great day, because everyone loves to get happy mail, right? Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching clear to the end. I appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you found this some value to you, please consider subscribing by clicking that subscribe button. And if you click the bell, you'll be notified when I upload videos. And I usually upload a video every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central. Again, I am Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Have a great week. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.